Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on hidden sugar. You know, the sugar lurking in foods you probably think are totally healthy. Get ready, because you might just start looking at your kitchen a little differently.
So let me ask you something. What's really hiding in your kitchen pantry? You probably think you're eating pretty healthy, right? But what if I told you that some of your favorite go-to safe foods are absolutely packed with sugar?
Think of this as a little expedition. We're going to take a tour through the average kitchen and uncover some pretty surprising truths about the foods we all consider staples. You know, it's such a common belief, isn't it? If I cook at home, I'm eating healthy. But the devil is really in the details. The minute you actually start reading the labels on those products you've trusted for years, yeah, the reality can be a bit of a shock. Okay, so our mission today is simple, but it's powerful. We are going to pinpoint the 5 biggest culprits, the top sources of hidden sugar that are sitting in pretty much every single home. So brace yourselves, because some of these are definitely going to surprise you. All right, let's kick things off with our first category, sauces and drinks. Now, these are often the sneakiest offenders because even savory stuff, things you'd never expect to be sweet, can be loaded with sugar. And culprit number 1 is ketchup. I mean, it's a kitchen icon, right? A staple in households everywhere. It just seems so innocent, just a simple tomato sauce. But is it? Just look at that number. A single tablespoon of ketchup has about 4 grams of sugar. Now be honest, who uses just 1 tablespoon? For a kid, a few good squirts on their plate can easily add up to half their daily recommended sugar limit from ketchup alone. That's crazy. But here's the key, you've got options. The problem is that massive amount of added sugar in most commercial brands. The fix? It's actually pretty simple. You can either make your own or just look for the kinds that say no sugar added right on the label. Your best friend here is always the ingredient list. Okay, moving on to culprit number 2. This is another kid favorite that a lot of parents think is a pretty healthy choice. Pre-made chocolate milk. I mean, it's milk, right? Just with a little chocolate flavor? What could be the harm? Well, this right here is the shocker. A single glass of chocolate milk can have over 24 grams of sugar. That is often more sugar than you'd find in the same amount of a can of Coke. Just let that sink in for a second. So 1 glass can knock out more than half of a kid's entire daily sugar allowance. But hey, here's a fantastic swap. Just take plain milk, stir in a teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder, and for a little sweetness, mash up a single date and mix it in. You get that same delicious taste with just a tiny fraction of the sugar. All right, on to our next 2 items. These fall into what I like to call the health halo trap. You know, these are products that are actively marketed as being good for you, which makes the hidden sugar inside them even more sneaky. First up, fruit-flavored yogurt. The packaging always looks so wholesome, doesn't it? It's got pictures of fresh, juicy fruit, all these bright colors. It's practically screaming, I'm healthy. But here's the reality check. A single, small pot of most of these yogurts can be packing anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of sugar. That is a staggering amount for a serving that small. Now, the problem isn't the yogurt itself. Plain yogurt is fantastic. It's that pre-mixed fruit-on-the-bottom stuff, which is basically just a sugary syrup. The solution that puts you back in the driver's seat? Buy plain yogurt and add your own fresh fruit. That way, you get to decide how sweet it is. All right, number 4 is even sneakier. Plain old white bread. It doesn't taste sweet, right? And that's exactly why so many of us completely overlook the sugar issue here. So there's a bit of science to this. White bread is made from super refined flour, which gives it a high glycemic index. In simple terms, that means your body turns it into sugar really fast. And to make matters worse, a lot of brands just straight up add sugar to the recipe anyway. So you've got a double whammy. They're refined flour and added sugar. The solution is all about reading that label. When you're buying bread, look at the ingredients. You want to see whole wheat or whole grain as the very first ingredient, not somewhere down the list. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most controversial culprit of them all, the so-called natural juice trap. This is where the marketing gets really clever, and the truth, well, it's a little hard to swallow. I'm talking about packaged fruit juice. Yeah, even the ones that proudly state 100% pure or no sugar added right on the front. that label gives us this false sense of security, right? It makes us feel like we're making a really healthy choice. This quote from the source material just nails it. Natural simply means the sugar came from the fruit. It doesn't mean there's not a lot of it. It's a huge distinction. And here's the core issue. A single glass of juice can easily have over 30 grams of sugar. And what's worse, the juicing process strips out all the fiber. Without that fiber to slow things down, that massive sugar hit just floods your system all at once. The better choice, every single time, just eat the whole fruit. So, there you have it. Ketchup, chocolate milk, flavored yogurt, white bread, and fruit juice. These 5 things are in millions of homes. And it's not because people are trying to make bad choices. It's because these products are designed to sell, not necessarily to be nutritious. So, what do you do now? Okay, I've got a challenge for you. As soon as this is over, I want you to go to your kitchen, open up the pantry, open up the fridge, and find these 5 items. Check the labels. What did you find? Let us know what you discovered down in the comments. And hey, if you found this helpful, share this with someone you care about. Because really, the big question is, what's hiding in your kitchen?